Fuck it.
Okay.
We back, baby. In the mix, in the thing. I need the energy because I haven't slept at all, and I'm fucking here, and I gotta edit later. And now we're gonna talk about
Win it.
fucking breaks. Intro,
Win it.
motherfucker.
Yeah, win it. When it comes to you, like talking, like you're the one who doesn't take any sleep, and I'm the one who just pretty much just takes all the sleep.
It's
Like,
no.
I
Can I
sleep
tell
too
you?
much.
It's just straight up because I'm stressed. Like this month, because I've been working on the Cyberpunk thing, and I'm already stressed that I had to push it back. And I'm like, I can't sleep because if I sleep, I'm gonna oversleep, and then you're gonna get mad at me that we didn't film the day. And then I'm gonna be like, fuck, I can't do
Oh.
that. So then I stayed up.
Jesus Christ! You should just. You have an alarm, or do you not? Do you not?
It doesn't work, man. I sleep through it. I cannot hear because when I sleep, it's like the one time a day, like the one point in my day where I get to just nothing, just straight up nothing
Fair enough.
in my head. So it clocks out because my brain's wired 24/7. So it's,
Well,
it's just
I will wake up on an alarm. Sometimes I set up like 7, 8, 10 alarms, and I'll just.
I used
just,
to
like,
do that,
like-
but it doesn't. It never really.
It works for me because it certainly is annoying, but I know that if you switch this off, you're gonna regret it. So I'm like, just wake up. But it helps.
I have an
No.
automatic alarm. That's the thing too. Like every morning, my thing will come up 6 o'clock. Wake up, but like I'm not up. I'm either already up or not up.
Okay.
Anyways,
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. As for me, Dubai or Abu Dhabi, this guy's in. Welcome
hey,
to
don't
the
be
Third
saying
Party
my
Podcast.
state out loud. It's too small. I don't want people to. Don't do that. We're skipping.
this
We're
third
cutting that out.
Third party podcast. Episode I don't even know. But
I don't
yeah,
either. We're here. These are out of order. We're kind of labeling.
Yeah, we're out of order in different topics. I think the last one we talked about. I don't know.
We actually kind of went on a tirade. Initially, it started because I was like, "Oh, let's talk about siblings," because you know
Oh yeah,
what
yeah,
do
yeah.
you do? What do you
Yeah,
do?
but this is a more artsy stuff.
We
But,
did talk about art. It doesn't matter. We ranted.
but
It was a
so,
filler
yeah.
episode last week. I'm sorry.
Basically, as of this recording, Josh has still not finished the Cyberpunk thing.
Shut up. I'll
No,
finish it.
but yeah, he actually. So the next project you do plan on working on,
Yes.
and that I would plan on working on, is basically completely separate from an IP, but just your own plot.
Yes.
So, for instance, for those who wouldn't know, there are like the kind of artworks that are just basically like its own thing, its own story, and then there are ones that are basically like taking an IP or a concept or idea from another. So, for example, if I made I'll have a project where it's just basically like these like an environment, or my own thing.
It's
whatever,
like
that.
just
And
random
then-
environment compared to like your Elden Ring thing.
Elden Ring thing where it's basically based off Elden Ring and it's basically, created anime like stories based on the fact on this.
Yeah, all the
world, on this idea,
environments, all the details. Yeah,
basically. And then
everything.
there's ones where where it's just your own thing, your own story, your own plot. So
Yup.
we're here to talk about that, the limitations, like
There's a
certain
lot,
things that you
and I hate them.
and then there's also like the pros of it.
Yeah.
So for instance, right, like if you're working on like for me working with Elden Ring, you're working on a separate IP, the story out, the base already there for you. You already have an idea, like a bit of an idea.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
same for
You're
me.
still gonna put your creative input on it, right? But it's just like
If anybody has watched my Cyberpunk thing, the last fight section is completely my own. It is so anime. There's like
That is-
reference to like other anime shots in there.
pretty much, yeah. But it's pretty much just like, you already have like the idea there. You don't have to create any like extra concept art. The only thing that you're gonna be inputting is just, I don't know, changing the story or making adjustments, or for example, if I made like a Star Wars scene, right? I just get my stormtroopers and all these assets or whatever, and you animate your stuff, you make your own story environment from there,
Yeah.
right? That's the pro. But a con would be something like you're only limited to those because you want to try straight through like the
Yeah, I
story
mean,
and
yeah,
something
you
like
have to
that.
stay
So
true. People expect a certain thing.
exactly, there's
Um,
an expectation. So for example, when I did the Elden Ring thing, I'm not gonna put like some weird, just random castle kind of thing. But I can just put on. I have to put like the Elden Ring kind of
you're
thing.
not gonna put like you're not gonna throw in a like a stormtrooper in the middle of your environment, you know?
Exactly. That's it's not your own thing. You want to make sure it's consistent and true to the thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you wanna make your own stuff, there's also like the whole thing where you can, make your own,
You can,
plot, your own story, your own
yeah,
like Ian Hubert with his
Dynamo.
Dynamo Dream, right?
Yep.
That's his own thing, right? But say like he gets to make everything he wants. It's his story, his style, his everything, right? But he has to pretty much like do all of like there's no base, You're basically making the base. There's like no other concept. Some people would prefer that. They have full control over that thing and they do that. But it does certainly take a lot longer because you're basically making your
I
own
don't know
thing.
about that. I don't know about that one, son.
Depends on how far you're going, right?
Yeah.
So you are basically
I gotta explain
um
it from my point of view real quick because when it came to the cyberpunk, because obviously I'm in it right now with the whole IP thing, and then I know after this I want to go into doing original stuff, and you already talked about the limitations. Like you went over it pretty well in terms of like what's or what's given to you, like the pros to it. Like you have the base story, you have all this stuff, which is great. I basically had all the reference, it was all laid out. I basically knew exactly what shots I needed to do because I had the show cut up as reference in the edit. So I'm like, okay, I can just replicate these shots. Maybe I add some creative input with angles, whatever. Maybe throw in a B-roll shot here and there, whatever it is. It's
yeah.
simple. The one problem I had with it was like, okay, theoretically, I mean, this is just the type of projects I like to do where it's like a 15-minute long, 15-minute long short film about whatever the IP or original IP it is. So I have to do this whole storyline thing, which requires multiple environments, multiple characters, and then one of the cons that you mentioned was like keeping to the original. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't strive too far. So like I
Exactly.
can't make the characters look completely different.
You
Like
could,
I'm
but not
very
too like
yeah,
not
but
very
I am limited in terms of like I'm not the best at CGI, right?
yeah.
But when you ask me to do something like super highly specific, matched to the original thing, that means okay, I can't do these character models. I have to download them somewhere. You know,
Yeah,
I have to
basically.
rely on somebody else. The environments, yes, I could have maybe modeled each and every one of them, but there was a lot of them, and I can't change the aspect of it. And so if something's too hard and works past my knowledge, I had to work with stuff like Ninja Ripper.
Yeah.
Which limits me quality wise because I'm not maybe getting the best model that I would have wanted, the best environment that I would have wanted. I'm also limited on time and stuff.
Yeah.
The exact guns maybe they use, the cars they use, um, the way certain characters move or animate. A lot of that stuff was like very annoying. So switching to an original IP, in my opinion, is way better because I get to work at least with my limitations
Yeah.
and like grow. Like
Basically,
like
yeah.
like okay, maybe I'm struggling with what's a good example? Like okay, I let's say I have this story, right? And the characters are in a forest and they're just walking along the forest. Let's say that's just one of the scenes. Okay, I'm struggling at making a forest hypothetically. Fuck it. We'll change it to a city because
Yeah,
I can.
exactly.
Like you have that creative decision to
The
change
the
it,
the
and
other
like
thing is
even the
actually
concept completely. You can go from sci-fi to campfire van life story. Like
yeah,
you
I
can
guess.
you
But
can switch that shit.
the other thing is actually like, see, if you're actually working on your own, right? You actually, depending on the kind of story that you're trying to make on your own, is you're gonna also have to make a lot of the assets on your own as well. So
I don't mind that because the thing is
no,
like
but
again,
so let's say
if I'm struggling making an asset, I realize okay maybe that asset might not be necessary. I can rewrite it to not require that asset. That's
yeah, yeah,
like I'm
but
struggling with.
some people will, let's say, um would, you know, there's some maybe artists who don't even know how to model yet, so they have to put in like the effort to like learn how to like model or make these environments rather than just, you know, dropping in and out objects to, you know, do something. Because some people probably make art that way, like people, right? Like he just
Yeah, I
mostly
mean you just go
puts in
on
assets.
Sketchfab and drop it in Quixel.
Yeah, but you know, and like he doesn't really make like anything that is like, you know, his model necessarily, right? So
Yeah.
it's like it's mostly just
But I enjoy that
assets. So that's like
aspect
another
to
thing.
it to me. Like being able
I'm
to
okay.
like be
I'm fine with that
creatively
as well.
feeling.
But and I'm just saying because it also again this is why I'm also saying that it also takes longer, and not everyone has like all the time in the world, as you know. So that's why, you know,
Yeah.
like yeah. So
I think
there is
it's more
that.
of a personal case for me where it's just like
It varies depending. Yeah,
way less limited where I'm able to at least change the idea completely because it's my own thing. Like I could switch the story up if I maybe feel like I can't do that story right now because of maybe the effort that it would take would maybe take a year compared to the time frame that I want. You know,
yeah,
so I can
exactly.
adapt the story, adapt the characters, also even adapting the style, like maybe switching from like realism to NPR. You know, you can choose that, whereas before you're stuck. You know, I can't even mix mediums, which is the problem because I love the idea of mixed mediums, like throwing in 2D animation, throwing in toon shaded stuff, maybe like cutting to like a maybe like a character's having an intense moment, he switches to photorealism, and then stable diffusions get thrown in there to like really like make him. I don't know, like being able to mix. I can't do that with like
Cyberpunk.
with yeah with specifically Cyberpunk because it's like I need to keep it consistent to the IP to the story.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
That makes sense.
completely go outside the boundary and like really do what I want to do because and I mean again the fact that I had to download models because I didn't trust myself. I'm not a character modeler. I'll never say that I am. Um,
You
but
never know. Maybe you might do character modeling.
but
You
I
definitely.
mean like I will get Daz. I'll get Daz. We'll use that as a
Oh,
base
but yeah, but
model.
that's not really like yeah,
I'm
that's
not
not
creating it from scratch though. But like I can't do
yeah.
that for like David or anything. So when I'm downloading these models, I realize, oh, I'm limited here because for one, the hair's set, the clothes are set. I can't hop in Marvelous Designer. I can't do the extra cloth simulation that I would have preferred to do. So I'm limited in that aspect. I can't do the hair simulation with like proper hair dynamics, all that stuff that I want. So then it gets muddied in that area. Whereas again, original project, oh, I can make the character completely from scratch. All right, let's just make a character and have it so that he has fully cloth simmed clothes, hair simulated, like really fine tune the animation with the mocap or characters and stuff instead of rushing to. But also that was more of a time thing for me. Now I'm ranting, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, what
that's
about
one.
you? I
But like,
guess like in terms of
I mean, I get at work. I mean, it's the same pretty much. I can also say it also applies to like commercials and all that kind of stuff because, for example, you know, if you're working based off like, you know, like a Razer or Nike commercial, you already, oh, you're just gonna make it based on this thing, right? And if you make it, if you have your own, let's say you make your own shoe, right? You have to design your own shoe, you know, make it look, you know, interesting or something like that, rather than taking a reference and modeling it or whatever. Obviously, there won't be an asset of the design that's in your head unless you model it yourself.
yeah,
Unlike with something like shoe brands, normally they'll 50% of the time that asset of whatever shoe you're looking at is there in 3D. But I'll always model it because a lot of the time they aren't available. But you know,
yeah.
there is that, and
I mean, but
so
don't you think it's? I guess like if you're not an expert at modeling, let's say, right? Um,
then you have to you have to either learn or hire a modeler
no,
to do that
exactly.
for you.
You'll have to learn, but that
It's
frustration that comes from when you're trying to replicate the thing that already exists and you're like, okay, like maybe random ass example. I want to merge these 4 points on a plane into one, and I want to merge them by distance. How the fuck do I do that? Like, what button do I press? Right? Like, someone might not know how to do that, and it frustrates them, but it's something they need to do for it to like work, or
Yeah.
to like get the model right. When you're doing your own, let's say, shoe design, you get to work with what you know, and then experiment when you start learning stuff. There's a little bit more room for the experimentation, but also for the only utilizing what you
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah. I think when you make your own like kind of story, or it also opens you up to new things for you to learn, right? If you're, let's say, working on a different on someone else's like a story or IP or whatever, you do learn from that. But there's also, benefits to doing your own story, right? Like you have to learn how to do this or how to make, you know, you know, a story. Like for example, if you're going to make like let's say a forest environment, something like that, or like some kind of animatic, you're gonna have to learn how like how forests look like, and like the whole like anatomy of how
Yeah.
how it is and stuff like that. If you're going to do like an IP, right? Like you want to make a Star Wars vendor, you basically are learning how to make like, or how to recreate like this sci-fi action scene or whatever. So
Yeah.
kind of thing, yeah. Or how you make lasers and
I
blasters and
mean, also, I
all
guess, like,
stuff like this.
another pro to doing IPs is, like, there's probably a lot of tutorials
Oh yeah, yeah. There's also a lot of tutorials for
on
specific
those
like
effects.
Star Wars,
Yeah,
like
Star Wars
especially
specifically, like,
Star
the
Wars
laser
specifically has
beams.
like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, like, Star Wars definitely,
With motion
uh,
graphics, there's a lot of like title sequence effect tutorials and like Nike and Microsoft tutorial stuff.
yeah.
Like how to make this Nike cloth effect kind of thing in Cinema 4D or something like that. How to make this Star Wars environment in Blender.
Yeah,
How to do this.
exactly, yeah.
But the ones where you want to learn how to make your own stuff, those are more like fundamental videos rather than technical. So they'll like teach you like on why or how you actually make it your own, what elements to add, why you add these things, like
Yeah.
you know,
And then
those
obviously, if
are
you get to the point where, like, I assume, like, you and me are at, I mean, we've talked about this, but you even not just the fundamental videos, but like the technical videos on like how to do a specific effect, you might learn something from that video that can apply to something else in like kind of taking pieces to
yeah,
cultivate
yeah,
into
yeah.
your own thing.
Yeah, you can do that as well. I do that sometimes. Like, we'll watch like a tutorial on how to make
I did it a lot with
this.
GeoNodes.
I think for like C4D or Blender tutorials or something like that, I'll be like how to make this Microsoft or effect or this effect from this commercial or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'll apply it to like this came from like
Like a
this.
material, right? Like a
Yeah,
material
yeah,
is a
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
example.
like a material.
It's
Yeah.
like, how do you
Oh,
do
this
this
material is like,
iridescent?
oh, how to make this Star Wars spaceship metal material, and I'm gonna put it on like a basketball or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
You just mix it up a bit. So that's also something.
that is that's a good example too.
Yeah. So and while you're learning, you make sure, while you're doing this, you also take breaks.
Oh yes. We should talk about breaks because I have not taken a break. This is probably actually I went to my dad's on Sunday. Today's Monday, right? No, Tuesday. Today's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, see, I'm not even keeping track of the days because I've been working every single day. But I was at my dad's at Sunday because I was like, I need to take a break. I need to just do something else.
Yeah.
So helped him build like a greenhouse thing over there. Cool. Um, this feels like a break to me because I get to just talk. You know, I'm not
Yes.
focused on editing, even though it's in the
See,
back of my
see,
head.
yeah. So when you like see because there are people who just straight up just like get so like demotivate. Like some people will message me and be like, "Yo, I'm not feeling like doing this," and I'm like, "Have you thought of taking a break before?" And it
Like,
helps because
are
it
they
helps.
people that like say like they're like
So
I'm
so
not
so
motivated,
some.
but they're still attempting? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
what the
So
problem is?
some of them would be basically the ones who are already doing this, and some who are just starting out. So it's like you want to like take breaks because if you do it too much, then it's going to be hard and like unenjoyable. You're just going to slow yourself down, right? It helps because after every project, most of the time, I'll take maybe like a month break or something like that. Maybe not, depending on the time, because sometimes I'll have commission projects as well.
Yeah.
So you take
Like I
you take
have something
breaks and
coming out like next week,
yeah,
which is why I
yeah.
need to finish
So
the shit.
yeah, so you take a break, you basically become, you end up looking at, let's say you're in the middle of a project, right? And then you take a break, for let's say a week, and then you come back, and then you view your, whatever it is you made in a different perspective.
Yeah,
And
that and also
no,
I think that, but also rejuvenation is
no,
a
no,
bigger
no,
part,
no, no,
especially
but
for like me because I mean like what I only have a
no,
couple days left on my project.
yeah, no,
I
yeah, but
can't
the other
fix
thing,
the other
yeah,
stuff.
but the other thing is that if you take a break, it also becomes easier because you're refreshed. You have a bit more of ideas. But I will say, if you take a break for too long, it does become hard to actually start something until you actually get back to it, and then you're gonna forget
Yeah, because you want to
something
move
because of the
on. You're
break.
like
Yeah.
this feels done now because it's
Yeah,
like
but
been out
so
of your
there's
brain
like
for
you
too
have to
long.
keep a balance between like working on your own projects and taking a break as well.
Yeah.
I took a break for like I don't know 2 weeks because I flew out to Georgia or some Georgia
Yeah.
to like ski and stuff like that. And now I think I feel like a lot more motivated, but I do feel a little bit hard to actually to actually like open Blender and actually try and make
Yeah.
something
I
because
I
it's
had
been like
the
a really long time. So
Yeah, I had
there's
that
that.
problem a couple months ago because I think like January I just didn't do jack shit
Yeah.
for like the whole month. I really didn't do jack shit. I think I might have like opened up a project and like tried to feel like I accomplished something by like adding a texture here and there on something. And I was like, I did something. I did. I'm working. I'm getting there. It's gonna be done. Don't worry. And now we're here, and I fucked myself because of the motivation. I felt like the thing needed to be like it was done in my
Yeah.
head.
When I was especially with like the Elden Ring project, I'll like do it, and then I'll take maybe like a 1 or 2 day break and then get back to it. That definitely helps a lot, and
Yeah, I did
and,
the same thing this
and
weekend.
makes me improve sort of my productivity with that kind of thing. Right now, I'm pre-production stage. This is like the like lazy or like laid back because I don't like this stage. But then when I'm on the rendering, I think normally it's a lot like more manageable because I know what to do. Sometimes I'm just straight up just repeating the same process, just different asset, same lighting, different camera
Yep,
angle,
same.
render it out.
Yeah, I'm basically
Yeah,
at that with
yeah.
that right now.
I think the only thing left for me is just to actually like make like a style frame from like a render,
Hmm.
and then once I get the exact look that I want, I can just straight up work on based on that, make it into like a preset and it's like boop, 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 and make renders and all that stuff. So
Yeah, but breaks are important, guys. You should be taking breaks regularly. Don't be like me unless you're psycho like me.
sleep, sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah,
I haven't slept, but it's for different reasons. But we are here. We are doing this.
yeah. So talking about like the whole story versus your own story versus an IP. Sometimes I've worked for shoes and other like worked on like Star Wars and renders and stuff like that. On the commercial side, I've done shoes and all of that stuff, but I've also done a ton of food. I'm
Yeah.
very hungry. Yeah, so you want
Oh
to talk
wait,
about it?
are you about to go into food?
Maybe. I don't
Um.
know.
I
It's
was
like
gonna
it's been a
mention
whole issue.
something like super quick because the IP thing. I
Yeah,
realized that like when I have this IP that people expect a certain thing from, and I think we
yeah.
can maybe end the IP talk from after this, but the when you have an IP that people expect a certain thing from, it's very hard for me to want to experiment with different things. I think I mean, like I kind of
Oh
touched
yeah,
on
no,
this.
that is true. That is true. No, because you're only limit, like, because
Like I
you're
feel
gonna
like
like
I know a certain thing, but like because I don't want to experiment and then waste my time experimenting for it to not work out, kind of stresses me out. But like for like my next project, for instance, like I want to go super heavy into Unreal Engine, like actually learn how to maybe like do proper sims, proper models with like good solid textures, you know, like actually like putting in all that
Yeah,
effort with the sims and all that and like making it like dialed in like quality
pretty much.
wise. I don't have that um drive to experiment when like I have a thing that I've been doing already and I'm like it's hard for me to experiment with something that um people expect a certain thing and I've already established what that thing was. You know what I mean? Like I probably shouldn't do this.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
going
yeah.
forward where I announce projects super early. I'm probably going to change that after this. But
Yeah, no, no.
because I announce it, I feel too nervous to waste time experimenting, I guess. So that was kind of a big thing.
No, for me it's more of opposite. Like I guess I know I spent a lot more time experimenting to start. Actually, when I announced it, I'm like, will I actually do it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud or something like that. Because
Yeah,
sometimes I just announce
I
things,
do
but I don't
tend
actually do
to
it.
think out loud a lot on my story.
Yeah. Sometimes I just say, say I'm gonna do it, and I don't do it. That's why I just make sure before I actually say I'm doing something, I'm just I just keep it on the low. The only reason why I would, the only, but because the only reason why I would announce it, because I prefer not to say anything until it's actually finished. But I'll only say something like, "Oh, I'm working on this kind of project, and I'll show it to someone early because just mainly just for feedback,
Yeah.
like people beforehand they already knew that I'm already working on this like Elden Ring title sequence, just just for feedback and be like, oh, what do you think about this, yada yada yada, and like all that stuff. Because I don't want it to be too quiet, like no one knows what I'm doing at all.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna show like, oh, what do you think?
you get it to like a personal level, right? Like you send it to me, you know,
I'll
to
send it
get
to you.
feedback, or you'll send it to
And
like
some
like friends. But
yeah,
you're not
I'll
like
also send it to
projecting to
friends as
your
well. Yeah.
whole fan base. Like, hey
No, no, no,
guys.
no, no. I wouldn't be like no guys, I'm working on this thing, coming soon or something like that.
Yeah, because
It's just like
I did that with an arcane project, and I didn't do it. I still have
I
all the
just
files for it, but I did
I
not do it.
yeah, I just say like, yeah, I'm work. Whenever someone asks, are you working on anything? I'm like, yeah, I'm working on something, but I don't really get into too much detail because I'm still working on it. And then
Yeah,
I'll
I just do.
eventually like,
I don't know why.
but
I'm an
everyone
idiot.
for everyone it's different, I prefer to keep it on the low and then I'll actually like,
Yeah, I mean, I'll
because I
probably like I like to at least let people know like where I'm at in terms of certain things where it's like probably like after I mean this is gonna come out probably around the same time, but I know like when I announce my next project, it's not gonna really be like an announcement. It's just gonna be like, hey, I'm developing, working on some new things, um, more updates coming soon. You know, like I'm not gonna like fully out be like I don't think I want to be as upfront about like I'm doing a cyberpunk project. It's gonna be 20 minutes long. I'm gonna do like basically a whole recap with the alternate ending. I don't want to say jack shit about the
yeah,
details.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just want to
yeah.
be like, hey, there is a project, but like I'm developing stuff at the moment, so that way I can get that
I
room
think
to experiment.
it's also nice to have a bit of like
Mystery.
a surprise, like a mystery surprise, because then like
Yeah,
I think it's more immersive that way. Like
it
you don't
is.
really hear about Ian Schubert talking about I'm gonna make it on this thing, Just I'm
Yeah,
gonna this.
I do get hyped about updates and stuff. Like whenever they're out, like I've been noticing like Xsense posting a lot of updates on his like Attack on Titan thing. I'm only excited. I'm
Does X Sense have like is it doing like an edit or like an animation kind of thing? Like
in animation and edit. I mean, he
oh,
does
see,
3D stuff, but because I'm more particularly interested in this because I did mocap for him, so
oh right, yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I was particularly interested in how that comes out. But he's been posting updates on it, and it's rare for him because he normally goes silent until that shit's out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm aware of that. Yeah, pretty much.
which I don't
So
know. I always flip flop. I'm like, is what's the best way? Should I be mysterious? Should I
yeah,
should I be mysterious? You
yeah.
know. So
So yeah, getting back to the topic,
yeah,
the IP thing, working commercials, right, and working on like the shoe brands and all these tech services and all that stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Food is something that I don't mind, but it's just like it's a special kind of like project because like
Food
this
seems
goes for
hard.
anything because, sorry.
Food seems hard.
Food, yeah, kind of, because like it's more like there's more sculpting than there is polymodeling. First of all,
Yeah.
because they especially
It's
I
all
did like
organic.
yeah, I worked in like candies and cereals, so there's more um sculpting, especially with like cookies and stuff. There's sculpting and stuff, but it's very like it's not difficult, but it just makes you very like hungry because you're modeling, and sometimes when it does look good, it's like damn, I want to eat my render. You know, like, it looks kind of good. So
Yeah. I that
so
actually that does make me curious. I don't mean to cut you off, but it was like what was it? Like food in general, because I think we were looking at our Discord messages that made
oh
me think
yeah,
about this, but
looking at topics.
how many yeah, we were looking at podcast topics from like way before. Um do you like what is your eating habits like as an editor when you're working? You know, you
I mean,
let
I
like
don't.
one day you're working however long. When you how long do you take a break for to maybe eat? Do you even take a break while you're eating? Do you eat and you're like,
No. I take breaks. The thing is, when it comes to see like eating, right? It's just well the normal like breakfast, lunch, dinner thing, right?
yeah,
But I mainly get like a meal after I'm done with like a render or like a big step in a project or something like that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
go out, come back. Um, I usually just you know find some YouTube video, get a snack, eat, come back, whatever, or watch TV or whatever. Especially when I'm rendering, I either just I'm just eating some stuff, watching some TV or something like that, or I don't know, doing some stuff. If I'm going out, I'll just fix some stuff, render, go out,
mm.
come back. But when you're working on like food stuff, it's kind of hard because I'm like doing it both in between like render. Okay, wait, I'm a bit hungry. I'm eating, and I'm still working on the
Are
same thing. I'm still a bit hungry, and then I just
are
go
you
back.
are you a snack type of guy? Do you be eating chips and shit? You know?
Well, well, sometimes, but like I don't prefer to always eat like chips and stuff. Like I prefer like more sandwich kind of
Oh
things. Like
yeah,
I'll
like
always eat
it
like
feels more of like a proper meal ish,
yeah,
proper
yeah,
meal snack.
like that. I guess it's also more filling, and it's also like softer. Chips are good, but sometimes it can be a bit
I guess it wasn't really
salty
just
and
that, but like maybe like I mean I used to be pretty bad. I used to always have a can of Pepsi, Coke, salt and vinegar chips, and I would just do that like all day.
I still do that sometimes, like eat chips and stuff, but not like as much as I would eat like meals and stuff because I
Yeah,
feel like because I guess I've eaten it so much way back then, like chips and stuff that it's gotten
yeah,
to a point where I just much prefer like meals because I think they taste better, they are more filling
yeah.
as well.
Do you think it just provides more of a break for you too? Because I feel like chips are so convenient to the point where you can work while eating.
Yeah.
Whereas like a
Yeah, but
sandwich, you gotta like move the
like
keyboard over, you know,
I
put the
think
napkin
I feel
in.
like like chips is more of like it's like a side dish, whereas like a sandwich is like a main kind of dish, you eat like
Yeah,
chips, like
unless you put the
kind of
chips
thing.
in the sandwich.
Oh, those are so good, dude. They're unhealthy,
Yeah.
but yeah, but like so working, but working with like because I worked for like cereal stuff. I've worked more on like more sweets and stuff. So I've worked on like cookies and like candies and like lollipops and all that stuff. So that's made me more crave more for like sweet stuff. And at one point, I was like, this cereal looks super delicious, right? So I was like going to the grocery store, just getting
Yeah.
groceries, and I'm like, I worked on this on like renders for this cereal before, so I'm gonna take it. And when I ate it, I'm like, damn, it does taste pretty good, you know. So it made me like, yeah, but like,
Yeah, I guess
man, it's just like,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, I don't mind working for food, but I don't prefer to because of just straight up just it making
Hungry.
me hungry, right? Now
Damn.
I can't imagine if you try to make your own food brand, just for a commercial, just for like a concept, because you're gonna be have to like you'll have to like research on different foods. So imagine your mood board, just sandwiches, chips, and
Yeah.
it just looks like a whole buffet. And it's like nah, I don't think I would do that. You
It
know,
depends
the
on
other
how
thing
much
is
effort you really be putting into it. I feel like that type of effort is like really only good for games, or if like a specific character
yeah, yeah, yeah.
moment
The other thing
of
is if you're
like a
doing
character sitting there eating chips and it's like spunk. Like I don't
yeah.
know.
The other thing is if you're doing food is you will need to learn how to do simulations as well because
Oh yeah,
depending on the
oh
food
yeah.
you have to do crumbs and particle effects,
Soft
especially
bodies.
particle, soft body, especially particle effects for like cookies and chips because you know you have powdery,
Mm,
liquid for any like like cereals and stuff.
yep.
Soft bodies, burgers, candies,
Yeah,
you know.
that's where I saw the difficulty from. Like where I imagined it was like cereal, for instance, right? Like you had the milk. You
Yeah.
know, you have to get like finely, especially for like a I don't like depending if you're going on the cartoon realm slash the realistic side, you might have to get like really
It's
simulated on
like
that shit.
yeah, so you're just like trying to think like imagine like the more doing like ice cream or cake or apple pie,
I
like
for
have
some
the
reason
liquid.
imagined a fucking fish. Like
What
just
fish?
like a close up shot of a fish, like all the like the little bits that like stick out, you know? I don't know what to say. Like it peels like that little like
Well, a
spacing in
fish.
between.
Who makes a commercial on fish? Fish is just fish market. Just
Hey,
get fish.
maybe it's about the fish market and they need a 3D shot because all their fish looks like
I mean
shit.
that's kind of weird. I mean like they're not like a
Hey,
big corporation. They're mainly just
it's
small
for
businesses.
all right. It's not for a commercial. It's for a film that's 3D animated, and they want the fish to look good. You know,
Or
it's
like salmon,
salmon.
like
You
that.
know, salmon.
Fuck that.
It's
Soft
like
body. It's not wait, it's not just soft body, but
the
it's also like
texturing. I don't
I
know.
think it's a bit of like liquid and because you have like the sauce and like having it cut.
Yeah, man.
This
Like
is yeah. I think the other barrier with making like food products is just like the physics of it because it's not just like a product or service. It's not like a solid thing or you know it like if you're doing like clothing brand, it's just cloth sim, right? But
yeah,
it's more of like a luxurious kind of thing, right? When it comes to
yeah.
food, you want to make it look good, and you think about all the ingredients and stuff like that.
Yeah, Blender
I
users,
watched
I
this
dare
one.
you to make a full-on meal with Blender and simulate it all with soft body, cloth, liquid, granular. I want you to do all that shit because you motherfuckers are gonna need Houdini quick.
Houdini, yeah, no, I mean there's seafood as well, and people who actually make food commercials, some of them who make like the photorealistic ones that look good, like with the pasta, like pasta sauce, pizza.
Yeah,
They some of them do it on 3ds Max because they have like the plugins and add-ons for it and stuff like that.
yeah.
The fidelity, and all of that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, man.
One of
Honestly, I just
the
brought this topic up because I am hungry.
yeah, I'm getting
Yeah,
hungry
but
too. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie.
but
You
yeah,
know, one of the
the thing
things
is, yeah,
I was wanting to start simulating soon. I mean, this kind of goes back to like doing original IPs because again, like I don't have the time to like experiment and test the concept yet because I've never tested it. But like water in a bottle, man. I want to do
water.
water in a bottle when someone's drinking water. I want to do like real like sims for that. But I don't have the time,
I feel like
so I
drinks are a
don't do
lot
it.
easier because it's just liquid straight up. It doesn't have it's not like smoke or anything like that. Because
Yeah, but Blender
or like
simulations are so ass, man. You know that.
yeah, just don't do it on. I mean, for me, cause like if I
You
did
say
it, I would
don't,
never
but I
do it
have to.
on Blender. I will never do it on Blender because simulations in Blender would be so I'll do it in C4D.
Yeah.
Oh, I also wanted to mention about the food. There's this one food commercial. It's all CG, right? They had all these particle and in liquid effects, but it was a commercial on the IKEA meatball, and I was like, God, this is the most delicious CG thing I've ever seen. Like it's like have full, like,
You need to
spices and
send me that. I need to see a 3D
oh yeah,
meatball.
I could send it to you. I
Please
can send
do.
it to you. I have to try find it. But man, I looked at it. I'm like, dude, the simulation there, it's amazing. But I'm also hungry as shit. So it's
Yeah,
a really
you know
good
what?
commercial.
I do have
It's all
a you can look that up. I have a quick question for the commenters or the people watching right now. I want to know, are you a snacker or are you a meal person as it like as editors or artists in general? Are you the type of person to snack through your work or take breaks and have meals, man? I need to know what team you're on here.
just to
I think
snack.
me and Alex are both on the meal team.
I prefer meals, but I would just eat whenever I feel like. I'll be okay with anything, but I would much prefer
Preferred. Yeah.
meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the meatball thing right now. It's in my Behance thing.
I almost never have
I found it.
snack.
IKEA plant. Oh my god, dude, it was so good. You can watch it later, but
Yeah, just send it
dude,
to me on
like,
Discord.
first of all, like, I was more impressed with the CGI. I was like, did something play? Like, yeah. So this is the project, right? So, um, I'm more impressed with like the CGI because it looks so like fine, but I was I was hungry because of how good the meatball look, you know. And IKEA meatballs are, you know, amazing, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually do remember. Oh God, it's gonna be like a whole food topic.
I mean, we
Coming
can go.
going
We've been recording
going.
for like 40 minutes. We kind of got through the
Okay,
main
okay, okay,
topic,
okay.
so
So going. So when I went to Finland for a Christmas like look, you know, thing with my, you know, we, because this is our first time seeing snow, and we like actual snow in person. Because before that it was just like ski Dubai, so that's artificial snow. So
yeah,
going to Finland was my first time. Coming back, we actually had to have a layover in Sweden to go back to Dubai.
yeah.
And while we were waiting, we tried the meatballs in Sweden because
Ooh.
that's where it comes from.
In
And
the
oh my
airport though,
god, man. In the airport.
I wonder
And
if
oh my
they
god,
go hard in the airport too.
they do. It tastes amazing. Like meatballs in the airport taste amazing. Like it's like wow, this is fire. You know what I mean? It's good. It's like in leaving Georgia. And entering Georgia, there is a convenience store called the Smart Store.
Georgia, the
It's like
country, by the way, you Americans.
yeah. So there's that.
I just
So
got all the
think of
American
it as
stuff.
like, you know, you have like you have like 7-Eleven, right? That's your convenience store around the U.S. Every country has
We don't
their
have
own
7-Elevens anymore.
what whatever. Like
I'm just
you
letting
know,
you know.
they fit like different brands. Like in Switzerland, you have Co-op, and you know you have 7-Eleven in some places as their convenience stores. Here in UAE, we have Zoom. Zoom is just the convenience store. In Georgia, there's a store called the Smart Store, right? They have these sandwiches. Do you know what puffs are? Like the sandwich
L-
puffs? They're like,
Sandwich puffs.
so basically they're like these sandwiches, right?
Okay,
Except it's all enclosed, right? So whatever is inside is in that
like a
like
burrito, but like a bread.
it's like a so think of it as like a it's very hard to explain.
Is it like
Um,
is it stuffed bread essentially?
Basically stuffed bread, but
Okay.
you know inside it it'll okay, it look like I'll send you a photo.
I feel like it's gonna be a calzone, low key.
I'm gonna send you a photo right here. So in Discord, you'll see that that's basically a puff. They all come in different shapes and sizes: cylinder, square,
Oh, is this a
triangle.
pastry?
It's like a pastry. It could be a pastry. It sometimes they'll
It
have
looks
like
like one.
apple in it. Sometimes they'll have like ham and cheese. So there's like the ham and cheese. There's the hot dog in it, and man, like they don't the convenience stores don't really sell any traditional food, but they're like sandwiches and stuff. They're like
Mm.
amazing. I think I'd like every day I'd order like 3 or 4 hot dogs from this like place. Like they're hot dogs, but in like a enclosed cylinder, uh,
That's not bad.
bread kind of thing. And they're like these crunchy, crisp, and like crunchy, like soft, crunchy, crisp, like crunchy kind of thing. Um, they're very like let me put like a hot dog. Hot dog. I'm actually
You
getting
know what? I don't know if you've ever had like gas station food in the States,
yeah. No, this is basically gas station food.
but
I'm
like in
actually
the
sorry
States, because I was thinking about like our
no.
food here. I'm thinking
I
like sandwiches
have,
we have.
but I have, but it's the I do remember taking like hot dogs and stuff. Those are good, but like I because we went to like more like fast food diner places. You know, I didn't really do it that much. But for instance, Georgia, right? If we're in the hotel all the time, if it's a place that's not normally known for good food, like U.S. has good food, Japan has good food, so you know there's that. But for instance, like Switzerland doesn't really have any like amazing traditional, in my opinion, amazing traditional food. It's not really like my thing. So we resort to their convenience stores and gas stations, right? And their food is in the gas stations is like amazing, you know. Here as well, I mean, they have lot of restaurants here and fast food places, so we'll get from there. But the convenience store food here is pretty good as well. They have like pasta, ready to eat pasta,
For a
fries.
convenience store?
Convenience store, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I mean, like here they have like a lot of food. Like you can they're pretty much just full on like meals for two.
Yeah,
Um,
we don't have a lot of stuff that like you could like heat up at the convenience store at least.
well, I think if you go more east, the convenience store get bigger and bigger. Like if you go to like I think Singapore or like
Uh,
Thailand, they become like like the smallest convenience store would be like a size of like a supermarket, and they'll have like
yeah.
whatever. And
I mean, like I'm just trying to think of like how half of like the stuff we have, and like unless it's like in the front like island, I guess where like the cash register is, all those hot stuff. That's the only hot
like
shit you're getting.
the glass window with
Yeah,
the
yeah, and the shit's like rolling or whatever. Um, that's like the only hot shit you'll get. But like I couldn't.
that's the food I'm talking about.
Yeah, but like I
But
couldn't
also,
imagine getting like a pasta. Like the max we get
no,
is like a
but
fucking hot dog. There is these one
no,
things though where it's like an egg roll looking thing. And 7-Eleven has them. I don't know what they're called. Tort something. Starts with a T. And it has cheese in it. Shit. Bomb. Bomb,
fire.
bro.
No,
Like
but,
I
when
bought
it
so
comes
many
to
of those. Also,
yeah,
oh
but
wait, I have a story because I used to leave high school every single day, go down to my park because it was like a walk, and then right across the street from the park is a 7-Eleven, and we would get slushies there every single time, and we would steal slushies. Don't arrest me, but we would steal slushies every single day. Amazing, right? I loved it because the guy did not give a fuck, and he liked the kids. But that business, that 7-Eleven went out of business, but most 7-Elevens around here are
because
gone.
you stole their
No,
shit.
they're just all gone. Like, because 7-Eleven got like fucked
Yeah,
up in
but
the U.S.
yeah,
Either way,
so
I had a sandwich. There was this
but
chicken sandwich I would buy every fucking day. That was the one thing I paid for. So good.
that's
So
pretty good.
good,
Yeah, but
man. I miss
yeah,
the
well,
food at gas
obviously
stations.
with all the convenience stores, you have all like the hot stuff in front. Some
Yeah.
of them, here especially, they'll have it on like there's a shelf where they have like the sandwiches and the depending on which country you're from, sometimes they'll have the pastries, the croissants or whatever, or the pastas, rice, and
I never imagined them
Switzerland.
having a pastry at a.
In Switzerland, they had like these chocolate croissants, and Switzerland's next to France, so the food is busting, right? So they had all the good like pastries and stuff like that. They had some nice cold sandwiches. In the UAE, they have like the shelves with like the pasta, the rice, biryani and stuff like that, fried rice, shawarma, you know, some
Shawarma
nice
man nuts.
sandwiches,
I don't know what I just said.
and in front they'll have they have their puffs, their hot dogs, and then they'll have like samosa and like chicken tikka and stuff like that, depending on which store, and like it's like
Oh
fire,
shit!
you know.
I almost fell. I was stretching, man. It sucks when my feet aren't ground.
Yeah, and then you also have like all the chips and stuff when you buy them together. Also
So good.
also like a lot of stores will also have like a mini Dunkin' Donut shelf, so you can get like donuts as well.
Just donuts.
It's just Dunkin' Donuts, but as like a cabinet, and you can just order from there.
Oh yeah.
And
No,
like
I
the
know what you're
munchkin,
talking
yeah,
about.
those are pretty good as well.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of those too. I don't know why, but like I think it's just a franchising thing. Like they'll like you always see like a KFC with the Taco Bell mixed together.
Yeah, the other thing that I like, see, the thing is with packed food is that you don't, what I think I also like about it is that you also don't have to worry about like finding a table. You can eat it while standing,
Yeah.
Well, lots of the time it doesn't make too much of a mess, you know what I mean? You could just, it's also handheld food, so
Yeah.
you can just also hold it by the wrapper. There's no utensils that you need to,
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of like convenience store food and like.
Yeah, look that fucking
gas
chicken
stations.
that chicken sandwich I used to get all the time. It was so funny because I remember the first few times I had it, especially the first time. I remember leaving. I ate it at the park because we're sitting by this lake. It was beautiful. I had this chicken sandwich. There's a swan next to me trying to. There's a goose trying to eat my sandwich, and I'm eating it, enjoying the fuck out of it. And I was like, I'm about to go back. So I turned around, went back, and I brought another one. And the motherfucker looked at me like, really? I was like, bro, it's good.
So, like,
Give me another
when
sandwich.
when I go to a new like place, and I'm outside, just outside the convenience store, and I'm like, yeah, eating and have a snack. If it tastes good, I'm gonna buy like more. I'm gonna buy like 3 times what I just ordered, because depending on where I am, chances are I'm not coming back here ever again.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a different country, so I'm gonna order like a lot more. I don't know how many hot dogs I've ordered. Maybe in Georgia, maybe it's like 10, 20 20 of them. All together total, because they were
Mhm.
just so good, and they were also weren't that heavy. You know, they tasted good. Their ham and cheese, busting. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. I also used to order the there's like these shawarma uh on these shelves which taste amazing. You know, these amazing like
I've
gas
never had a
station
shawarma.
shawarmas.
I
But
kind of
now
want
I don't
one.
do that anymore because there's also the well, there are shawarma places which have very good shawarma and they're pretty much like similar prices.
Sorry.
So so yeah, man. Man, but I yeah. So just to sum it up, you know, making commercials on food is kind of like interesting. You know, it's a bit challenging just because you get hungry making it for the most part. You know,
Yeah.
and then there's also the simulations. So,
Damn,
how long
man.
has it been?
It's been 51 minutes. I don't know what else to
Oh,
talk about. I tried to keep viewer retention by bringing Belle Delphine in and blocking her tits out because they are exposed.
oh shit!
Um, well, they're not exposed. Does
No, well, no,
pasties
I'm
count?
just no. I'm just like, why do you have that?
So at a New Year's party, right? This like the last New Year's, I was at some dude's house. Well, it's a friend of my brother's, so I went over there. I just met them. He has like a bunch of vintage shit all around his house, and then he just randomly had this pillow, and then we were talking about like content and like the stuff that I do and shit. So I was like, oh, I stream and stuff. He was like, bro, take this. Someone gave it to me. I have no use for it. Take it and make good use of it on stream. So that's why I have this. And are pasties okay for YouTube? I don't know.
I mean, demonetized, yes, absolutely, but
We don't make money on this podcast unless you check out our sponsors. Link in the description. Or just sign up to my Patreon because technically half all the money goes to me at this point until we actually make enough money that I can justify splitting it with Alex.
yeah,
Because we make
am working
nothing.
on commissions stuff like that, so I
Yeah,
plan
and
on
I
making money
don't
on
do.
all
I
that.
don't work. I just do it.
He's not
I
working
do.
for now
I
because he
do
has a
animations.
project.
No, I just don't work, man. I'm not working
But
for the
you
next.
would have you do have a project coming up now. So.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't plan on like actually working, and for like the next this year or next year, essentially, like till the end of next year. I was just like, I want to just level up in terms of 3D, and I don't want to like risk experimenting and getting better on
Fair
client work.
enough, fair enough. I mean, I'm just doing a bit of both and I'm improving.
I can't do that. I need to focus up on one thing. My dad has been pestering me though to get like a job, and I'm like, I just let me do this. I can get a job after. Like it'll be easier actually for me to get a job later because I'll be better, and I already have the
Fair enough.
connections to work. You know,
This
it's
is
whatever. It's
should we
not.
outro from here?
We're not ending.
Why not?
We're not ending this. All right, you're held hostage. Where's my gun? All right.
Wait,
You're
I
not-
have one as well. Hold on.
No, wait, what? You can't reverse Uno me? What is this? I watched an episode of Breaking Bad. I know what I'm doing. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Hold up. You ain't getting me, motherfucker. I'm ducked up. I'm on like an episode of Narcos right now. You ain't getting my drugs, motherfucker. Heimendinger. Wait. What's his name? What's the guy's name in Breaking Bad? Hey,
Hello.
you can't. Oh shit.
Yo.
Oh shit. He got the side. Bro, wait. You can't come in with I put a force field up. You're from Cyberpunk. That's not fair. I'm watching Narcos right now.
Oh, are you watching Narcos right now?
No, I was joking. I'm, I'm
No,
just.
you should watch it. It's a pretty good show.
Nah, man, I'm
this
in-
Is yeah. I have more. I have like a Nerf, no, not Nerf, but like a sniper rifle. I do have like an automatic one as well, but those ones like kind of malfunction. These are like a decade old or something like that. These like things. No, not a decade old, but like close. So bang 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 bang.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Ow! Ow!
This has been the Third Party Podcast.
This has been the Third Party Podcast. Thank you for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe. You can't favorite on here anymore because I'm old.
Doobie.
Yeah, Skillshare, Doobie, my Patreon, all that shit. You know. Also, check out our socials and watch my video because it's probably already out. Hopefully. Bye.